In the name of Allah, the gracious, the most merciful. Dear students of 11th class, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. Today we are going to study a poem, Childhood, from your textbook, Hornbill. Dear students, in this poem, the poet laments the loss of his childhood. It was a time when he sincerely believed that there is a heaven and a hell. It was a time when he believed that the adults really meant what they said. He believed that people really loved one another when they talked and preached of love. It was a time when he thought himself as one among others. He didn't think he was in any way different. But now all that innocence is gone. That means his childhood has gone. Now he thinks that heaven and hell are no real places. Now he sees people talking of love and preaching love, but he sees that they don't act lovingly. Now he is conscious of his own separate identity and feels himself different from others. The poet wonders when and where he lost his childhood. मेरा बचपन कहाँ चला गया, कब चला गया, कहाँ चला गया. He can only say that it has gone to some forgotten place that is hidden in the face of an infant. Now, stanza number 1. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be alone? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? The poet suddenly realizes, in these lines, the poet suddenly realizes that he has lost his childhood, but he doesn't know when and where he had lost it. He asks if he had lost it the day when he entered his 12th year, that is, after completion of 11 years, or it could be the time when he realized that heaven and hell were no real places because these could not be found anywhere in books of geography. They were just products of imagination. Therefore, they could not be found anywhere on the earth. The poet wonders what day it could be when he lost his childhood. इस स्टेंजा में शायर क्या कहता है कि मेरा बचपन कहाँ चला गया. क्या ये वो दिन था, वाज इट द डे आई सीज टू बी 11? क्या ये वो दिन था जब मैं 11 साल का हो गया, यानी मैं 12वें साल में पढ़ गया? या वाज इट द टाइम आई रियलाइज दैट हेल एंड हेवन? या ये वो वक्त था जब मुझे ये पता चला, मैंने ये रियलाइज़ किया कि हेल और हेवन जो है, जन्नत और जहन्नम जो है, कुड नॉट बी फाउंड इन जियोग्राफी. जियोग्राफी की किताबों में ये चीज़ें नहीं मिलती हैं. जब मुझे ये पता चला तब मेरा बचपन मुझसे जुदा हो गया. क्या? एंड कुड देयरफॉर कुड नॉट बी. और इस शायर के मुताबिक कि मेरा बचपन उस वक्त चला गया जब मुझे हेल और हेवन के बारे में जो तस्वुरात थे वो ख़त्म हो गए, क्योंकि मैंने उनको जियोग्राफी में कहीं नहीं पाया और ये कहीं भी नहीं हो सकती, क्यों ये सिर्फ तस्वर में ही, इमेजिनेशन में ही ये जगह हैं. इस दुनिया में ऐसी कोई जगह नहीं है. दैट मीन्स कि ये अब रैशनलिज्म इसमें आ गया है. ये सोचता है, कंट्रास्ट करता है चीज़ों को, जो कुछ इसको बचपन में जो इसके दिमाग में डाला गया था, अब ये देखता है कि हकीकत में क्या क्या है इस दुनिया में. तो शायर के मुताबिक ये कहता है कि हेल और हेवन जो है ये ज्योग्राफी में नहीं पाया जाता है, इसलिए इस ज़मीन पर, अर्थ पर ये कोई जगह नहीं है. वाज दैट द डे? क्या यही वो वक्त है जब मेरा बचपन मुझसे जुदा हो गया, यानी जब मैंने ये सोचना शुरू किया. शायर के मुताबिक सीज कहते हैं ख़त्म होने को, रियलाइज हो गया, समझना. कुड नॉट बी फाउंड इन जोग्राफी का मतलब है कि जोग्राफिया की किताबों में नहीं पाया जाता. मुराद ये कि दुनिया में कोई हकीकी जगह नहीं थी. कुड नॉट बी could not be, and therefore could not be यानी कि असल में नहीं हो सकते थे ये चीज़ें असल में नहीं हो सकती थी. So this is the first stanza. Now second stanza. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. But did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? In these lines, the poet doesn't know when he lost his childhood. He says that he does not know when he lost his childhood. When did my childhood go? It could be the time when he realized that adults were not what they seemed to be. Adults talked of love, they preached of love. In his childhood, the poet used to think that the adults were really loving and caring, but now he finds. But after the passage of childhood, he finds that in their actions they are not so loving. That means adults are not so loving. They seem loving only in their talking and preaching, but in their actual actions they were much different. The poet says that he had perhaps lost his childhood when he found this hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy and the actions of grown up people. सो इस पैसेज में, इस स्टेंजा में, इस बंद में शायर क्या कहता है कि मेरा बचपन कब चला गया? क्या ये वो वक्त था जब मैंने ये रियलाइज़ करना शुरू किया कि अडल्ट जो होते हैं, जो बालक जो होते हैं, बड़े लोग जो होते हैं, वो कुछ नहीं होते हैं जो वो दिखाई देते हैं. वो तो मोहब्बत और प्यार और मोहब्बत की बातें करते हैं, उसका प्रचार करते हैं, बट डिड नॉट एक्ट सो लविंगली. लेकिन वो उस पर अमल नहीं करते हैं, वो ऐसे लविंग नहीं होते हैं, लविंग नेचर के नहीं होते हैं. यानी कि उनके कैरेक्टर से ये नहीं लगता है कि वो लविंग, हालांकि बातें करते हैं वो लव और पीस की बातें करते हैं, प्रीच करते हैं लव को, टॉक ऑफ लव, बात तो करते हैं मोहब्बत की, इसका प्रचार भी करते हैं कि हर एक से मोहब्बत करनी चाहिए, लेकिन असल में इनके दिलों में नफ़रत होती है. ये बड़े लोग जो होते हैं, इनके दिल जो होते हैं ये मोहब्बत से आरी होते हैं. बट डिड नॉट एक्ट सो लवली. वाज दैट द डे? क्या ये वही वक्त था जब मैंने ये रियलाइज़ करना शुरू किया कि अडल्ट्स जो हैं वो एक्चुअली वो नहीं होते हैं जो कि वो कहते हैं, जैसा कि वो दिखाई देते हैं. क्या ये वो वक्त था जब मैंने अपना चाइल्डहुड खो दिया? Now stanza number 3. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine, to use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but my own and mine alone? Was that the day? In these lines, the poet doesn't know when he lost his childhood. He says that it could perhaps be the time when he felt himself different from others. He realized his mind was really his own mind. In other words, he realized that his mind thought differently from others. He had an independent mind which he could use any way he liked. His thoughts were not the thoughts of other people, they were his own personal thoughts. A sense of ego had developed in him after the passage of childhood, when his childhood was gone. He no longer thought himself as one among others. He thought himself to be a unique person. The poet says that it was perhaps in this ego that he lost his childhood. When did my childhood go? इस स्टंजा में ये कहते हैं कि मेरा बचपन कब मुझसे जुदा हो गया? क्या ये वो वक्त था? वाज इट व्हेन आई फाउंड माई माइंड वाज रियली माइन, जब मुझे ये लगा कि मेरा दिमाग जो है ये दर हकीकत मेरा दिमाग है. यानी कि वो अपने दिमाग से जब सोचने लगा, दूसरों की सोचों को उसने ये कर दिया, दूसरों की सोचों को अपने दिमाग से निकाल दिया, बल्कि अपने दिमाग से खुद सोचने लगा. टू यूज़ विच एवर वे आई चूज़ का मतलब है कि جس طریقے سے وہ اس کو استعمال کرنا چاہتا اپنے مائنڈ کو، تو